people going from winter to spring or spring to winter, what happens? You get their cold sores. Put a little Breva or whatever it is on it, goes away, they're fine. Okay? Stress does the same thing. After large tests, end of the semester, you got all your finals, what happens like the next week?
Cold sore.
You get sick. Cold sore, get the cold, get sick. Your immune system has been so high and it drops off and you get sick. Okay, so when your immune system drops or you certain things like that, then the virus can take hold, cause a cold sore, get you whatever it is that virus infects you as. Okay, so that's the difference between latent, stays with the provirus, stays with you. Acute comes and goes. Okay, it's not something that you're there all the time.
Okay, so this may be a stupid question, but if you kiss somebody that has a cold sore, do you get the cold sore?
You sure can.
Same with like if they have a cold sore and they drink something and you drink the same thing, can you get a cold sore?
I don't know what
The virus actually lives for only 5 minutes out in open air. So if you just want to let something sit there for 5 minutes and then take a drink, you should be fine.
But if you like, hey, what is that? Whatever.
If they have
I
a
mean,
cold,
you know, I don't know.
If they actually have the cold sore, then the virus is in its late stages, and you can get it, but it's the time before you get the cold sore. And that's really active around there.
But yeah, you don't want to scratch, you don't want to pick at cold sores because that'll just spread it.
Yep. Ever seen shingles?
Yeah, never go get dental work if you have a cold sore.
Oh, yeah, why would you? Oh.
You know the difference between a cold sore and vaginal herpes?
There's different simplexes.
Location, location, location.
And you
That's
can get
about it, huh?
mouth herpes is a lot more contagious than simplex 2 downstairs. So be careful.
Yep. All right, so we talked about the pathogenicity. We have oncogenic viruses, and we have human papillomavirus. Okay, so no, the ones that attack the immune system are your Epstein-Barr and your HIV. Okay, those are viruses that go right after the immune system. If they can knock out your immune system, they have a better chance of surviving. Okay, or they can cause cancer in your cells. We talked about this a little bit, but what has to happen between G1 and S phase and G2 and mitosis? Checkpoints. If a virus can wipe out those checkpoints, will the cell just start rapidly dividing without it being properly done? Not being properly prepared, I guess I should say. Will it look like its parent cell? Do cancers look like its parent cells? They're abnormal cell growth. They're abnormal cells. That's all cancer is, are cells that don't take heed to the checkpoints.
What causes the checkpoints, though? Like, is there a chemical release of the cell that says checkpoint?
There's a buildup of certain organelles and different things like that that allow the cell to say, okay, now I'm here, now I can go.
But what makes it say this is a checkpoint?
Got me. Don't know.
So you're saying if we could find whatever does that.
There probably is someone who knows it. I just don't.
But could that be a cure to HIV? Force the checkpoints?
Well, your HIV doesn't do cancer.
Oh, okay.
HIV breaks down your T cells so that you have no more immune system.
Ah, fun.
Okay. Whereas Epstein-Barr breaks down your B cells, which is the other half of your immune system. Okay, so what it does is it destroys the immune system from the inside, the very beginning, because your T cells make memory cells, which then make natural killers and cytokinesis, cyto something. Can't think of what it is right now. T cyto something. There's the cells that actually do the killing of the phagocytes and the different things like that that actually kill the viruses. So if you can knock the first block out, you can't build up your resistance. So that's what Epstein-Barr and HIV does. Your Hep B, Hep C, and human papilloma, those are the ones that are cancer causing. Okay, and know that you have antibiotics for bacteria. You have what for viruses? You have antiviral drugs, but do they actually kill viruses? No. You have vaccines that makes your body have a memory cell or has the ability to fight that disease if you ever become exposed to it. So that's what a vaccine does. It preempts your immune system, so if you ever do see it, it'll attack it. It knows what it is and can attack it, okay? So know those differences, the Salk-Savin, the Gardasil, and Heptovax as some of your vaccines, okay? What are prions? Are they viruses?
Infectious proteins without genetic material.
Infectious proteins. They are nasty stuff. Think of it as, you ever watch the third Matrix? You ever watch the third Matrix where, what was the guy?
Everybody gets infected with the dude.
Yeah, what's that guy's dude? The guy in the black suit.
Smith?
Mr. Smith. And he sticks his hand in the next guy and that guy turns into a Mr. Smith. This is what these guys do. They get up to a good protein and they infect it. And those two go up and infect something else. Good proteins which affect other proteins which affect other proteins. Turns your brain into Swiss cheese.
Delicious.
Bites a little hole, it like eats holes through your head, through your brain. All those little white dots on that page are holes in brain material in your cerebral cortex.
Does it only affect the brain?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's mad cow disease.
It's actually Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, which is known, that's one of the mad cows. Or I should say that's one of the prions in there, okay? So if I ask you what is a prion, you're going to say it's Creutzfeldt-Jakob, but you're also going to say it's a proteinaceous infectious particle that makes transmittable spongiform encephalitis, or encephalopathies. Okay, so those two highlighted words on there, be able to underline them and know them. And the chart on the bottom, know the difference between a virus and a prion. There's no DNA. You can see cell damage in the host, and the hosts are mammals versus animals, bacteria, and plants. Okay, so know the difference between prions and viruses. And also, you need to know why prions are so dangerous. They are resistant to heat. They're resistant to radiation. They're resistant to enzymes. The only thing that can get them is denaturing.
So you gotta heat them up.
Yeah.
That sounds
If you
fun.
heat up those, what else are you heating up?
Your brain.
Your good or your good proteins. Okay, so you can lose some of those. It's also known as bovine spongiform encephalopathy or Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. Okay, in sheep it's called scabies. Or in
So
elk
once
and
you have
deer.
mad cow,
What's that?
so once you have that, it's like, yeah, there is nothing you can do.
Nope.
And is that slow?
It's pretty dimensional, yeah, because it's slowly going to eat your brain away. Nasty stuff. Okay, last thing we're going to talk about are your fungi and your molds. Okay, know the difference. What is a mold? Excuse me, fungi is in your molds and your yeasts. Ringworm is a mold. It's not an actual worm. Okay, so know athlete's foot, jock itch, and ringworm as your molds. Your mycelium. You ever seen mold grow? It has one little spot and it has all this like hair-like structures going out of it. That's mycelium. Is all those hair-like filaments. Okay, and then know that it gives you athlete's foot, jock itch, and ringworm. Where a yeast is a unicellular fungi. In other words, it's a what? Single cell. Okay, and it gives thrush and vaginitis. And its disease, or its name is Candida albicans. Okay. Thrush is in the mouth, obviously vaginitis is not. Hopefully.
There's a lot of diseases we got to know.
Yes, there are a lot of diseases you got to know. And then we talk in the Animalia about protozoas and helminths. You need to know the difference between these. Okay. Protozoas are your Giardia lambia and your Christosporidium, which are found in water, like rivers and things. Oh, also, sorry. Protozoas have a trophozoite stage, which means it's it's active, and then a cyst stage in which it's inactive. So the cyst stage is kind of like the bacterial spore, and the trophocyte is the live bacteria type formation. Okay. No, Giardia lamblia gives you diarrhea and gastrointestinal distress, and Christosporidium is gastrointestinal, and it's a self-limiting. In other words, a little bit of time and it'll go away. Okay. And then you know that your Plasmodium causes malaria and is transferred through an Amphophels, which is a female mosquito, on 314. Know the difference between a definite, intermediate, and accidental host on the bottom of 314, and be able to identify a fluke, tapeworm, roundworm, or tissue parasite as a helminth. On your tapeworms, the scolex is the head and the proglottids are the parts, and they are hermaphroditic. In other words, they are both male and female. Roundworms are in your intestines, and no pinworm, ascarids, and hookworms as roundworms. Ta-da! We finished. So the last few, you just have to know what they are and what they cause, and what category you find them in.
There's not enough time to remember all those diseases.
Sure there is. You have now to Saturday. Or do you have till Monday?
Saturday.
No, Saturday.
Plus we have our paper still.
It's a roundabout.
Easy, right? Any questions? No questions? All right, let's go home.